Welcome, Aries. Welcome to my YouTube channel, One Who Sees Tarot. Aries family members, this is going to be a mid-monthly reading for the month of September 2017, dates September 15th through the 30th. Although the energies that I'm looking at are certainly going to carry on beyond the 30th, quite possibly. But I also I want to make sure that I mention to you, Aries family members, to please be aware of the new moon on the 20th of September. And the new moon is going to be in Libra, so there's a lot of give and take, and the energy has a lot to do with relationships. And even if you're involved in sales, it's always good to think about how what you're selling, how it affects the customer, and what would be attractive to what you're selling from the customer's point of view. As far as relationships are concerned, think in terms of the new moon in the sense of peace and calm, particularly since it's in Libra. It's going to be a calm, beautiful, peaceful type of new moon, even though there are certainly new energies involved. And as you create a list, perhaps, of the things that you want to accomplish between this new moon and next month's full moon, it certainly might be a good idea. But we'll talk more about that later on. Let's look at what your energies are for the middle of the month, Aries family members. Aries family members, the spirit has already been invoked and the cards have been anointed and shuffled and cut according to the amount of times that the spirit has given me direction. And I always give recognition and honor to my spirit guide because my cards are governed by a spirit. And so I always give recognition. But let's move into your reading, shall we? So as we look at the middle of the month, I'm looking at a new you, Aries family members, particularly those of you that are the female energy of Aries. It looks like you're making a decision. It looks like you have been perhaps thinking about this thing, and a lot of it has to do with relationships. I'll get into that in a moment. But I see that you've been looking at your life and you've been desirous of starting some new things in your life and turning a corner in your life, perhaps. And so I'm looking at that as an energy. I'm looking at mental clarity. I'm looking at a relationship that appears to be, I'm not sure that it's going to be a breakup, but I do know that it's going to be a reassessment as far as this masculine and feminine energy. This masculine energy that I'm looking at it's an intellectual gentleman, or certainly a well-trained, articulate, well-educated, I should say, forgive me, not well-trained, but well-educated, articulate gentleman. And then there is the feminine energy. And the feminine energy is beautiful and sexy and very physically fit. I'm looking at those two type of energies. But I see that the problem or the challenge with the relationship has a lot to do with you, Aries family members, exercising your options and looking at this relationship with options. So you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, I like the relationship, but I want to work things out differently, or I want to see things go in a different direction. So it's that type of energy that I'm looking at, Aries family members. I'm also looking at, as I said earlier, as I said a few moments ago, certainly some challenges as it relates to love relationship, but I don't necessarily see a breakup, not immediately. It's not during this time frame that there's a breakup, but there is a reassessment and a reevaluation of love interest. And I also see a need, and the reason why there is that reassessment is because there's a need, Aries family members, for you to attain some balance in your life. So apparently your life is out of balance. Apparently you've been deep into this relationship and perhaps you have not been focusing on your long-term goals. And so now is a time to get that balance together. You do need to look at your long-term goals, what you want to accomplish in life, and you need to get that refocused, so to speak. But let's move forward, Aries family members. The Spirit is showing me a card in your future as it relates to work. And it seems like some of you who have been looking for a job, there is news of a job that is coming very, very soon. And I said this is a mid-monthly reading, so I'm looking for that news of a job to come to you within the next 2 or 3 weeks. And it looks like the job is going to be busy. There's going to be some new stuff you're going to have to learn, obviously, as it is with many new jobs. But it looks like it's going to be busy for you. It's not going to be like a walk in the park. You are going to have to learn new skills, new codes, new commands, things of that nature, some new type of challenges that you're going to have to learn. And Aries family members, I see the guardian angels have blessed you or are preparing to bless you during this cycle, and a legal, governmental, or official matter is about to work out on your behalf. Some of you are dealing with a legal issue, and that legal issue, I'm thinking that it might have something to do with a car. How interesting. And that legal issue could be a lease, or it could be a challenge to a lease or something like that. But it looks like it's a legal, governmental, official matter that is getting ready to work out for some of you Aries family members. And some of you are getting ready to take a nice little road trip. Very, very nice. You deserve a little break and enjoy your trip. It's going to be a safe and healthy trip for you. I see in your advice section, the Spirit is showing me a card indicating that you need to get over something that you've been carrying, as far as some sour grapes type of thing, like you're upset because someone betrayed you, someone left you in the cold, someone left you holding the bag, someone left you with all the financial responsibilities. And so it looks like the Spirit is saying, but it's time for you to get on with your life and get over it. And so I do see that as part of your energy for the next 3 to 4 weeks. I also see where, as I mentioned a few moments ago, this is not going to be a time where you're going to be able to chill, so to speak. This is a time for busyness. It's not a time for rest. It's a time for busyness. And the Spirit is showing me a card indicating that this is a grand time for you to exert a lot of your energies. And as I'm talking about exerting your energies, I don't mean exhausting, I mean exerting. So Aries, you are assertive. You are sometimes even aggressive. This is going to be a very good cycle for you to push your agenda, whatever it is. And the Spirit is showing me a card very much in alignment with what I just said, and that card is talking about, is advising that you get out of your comfort zone. Aries family members, get out of your comfort zone and push the envelope a little bit. Move a little bit further towards your goals, and move a little bit further towards the lifestyle that you want to live. And I also see a card indicating that you might be looking, as I said earlier, with a little bit of a structural change. There might be a family structural change. There might be a relationship structural change. I did not see it earlier in our brief reading, but what I did see was, as I mentioned, some reassessment, some options where you're going to have to discuss some things with your mate. And I see that. And I also see that there is a possibility that as you are trying new things and as you are unfolding into newness, into this metamorphosis, I do see where the family structure might change. It very well might change. But I also see that the change is not going to be devastating for you if it does change. I think that part of the change might have something to do with you initiating it. And I also see where right now, as I mentioned a few moments ago about you looking at plans for your future, certainly is an important time for that. And there is something that is getting ready to come to you, some information that's going to bring you some mental clarity about your future. So apparently you've been researching some things, or you've been hoping for some information, and that information is forthcoming. Aries family members, I do once again see a challenge in a relationship again, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be too painful. It looks like, as I mentioned, something that maybe you kind of initiated. There is news of a job, as I mentioned. News of a job is coming. Love is also part of this cycle for some of you who are interested. Love is coming, but I'm not sure that that's at the top of your list. Some of you are getting ready to travel, and your travel plans will be secure and safe. I'm talking about long distance travel plans. Very, very good. Okay, Aries family members, this has been your mid-monthly reading for the month of September 2017, September the 15th through the 30th. I look forward to hearing from you. If you'd like to book a private reading, the information is part of the video screen in front of you. Stay blessed, Aries family members, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. Thank you.